Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. All right, rock stars. First story up. I'm sure you guys already know what it is going to be. It's the very sad news that we got earlier this week, that Michael K. Williams, the man that most of you guys remember as Omar Little on the long-running hit show The Wire, where he played a gay gangster. I never watched The Wire, but everybody that talks about that show always brings up his character. My brother would even go as far to say that he believes that character is the best character that has been acted on television. That is a big, big thing. Not that my brother is no big time critic or anything like that, but I think a lot of people might feel that same way. And when we got the news that Michael K. Williams had died, I think it was on Tuesday, my son came and told me, and I was floored. You know, we talk about this all the time. Certain deaths, I mean, of course, we didn't know, some of you guys may have, but generally, we did not know Michael K. Williams. It is so hot in here, you guys. I got my air on, so it might be blowing. I'm sorry, but it's hot in this car. Certain people we've taken special liking to. We claim that person as our own. They become somewhat of family. Michael K. Williams was definitely one of those people, flaws and all. You know, we knew about his addictions. We've known about his struggles in the past. He's been very open about the things that he has faced in his life. And so when my son told me that he was found dead, I already pretty much knew that usually means that it has been a drug overdose. Now, that has not been confirmed, but that is what is suspected, and that's what they are willing to tell us. And I just couldn't believe it. The thing about Michael K. Williams is that most people, I feel like most people that are in the industry will all tell you what a special person that he was. Someone that felt deeply, someone that was emotional, someone that experienced life in pain and had faced a lot of tragedies, but still was able to turn out these characters that will go on in history. Like I said, Omar for sure will be one of those characters, but we also know him in other roles. Most recently, we know he played in Lovecraft Country. He played the father. I'm sorry, I don't remember what was his name. Let me look it up real fast. Montrose Freeman, okay, who was the father of what is his name? Not Skip. You guys know who I'm talking about. The main character on Lovecraft Country. He was his father, even though we had come to find out that his father, we believed, was Courtney Vance's character, if I remember correctly. But anyway, also another very involved character, someone that had to dig deep. I mean, he had to dig deep for that character. I saw him in an interview. I'm sure many of you guys also saw it. I think I saw it on the Jasmine Report, where the cast and the director, the creator of the show, they were all on a Zoom interview. And he talked about how that character had taken him so deep that he lost his way. And did not go into specifics about what happened, but he was very happy that his cast and crew was there to hold him up. And Courtney Vance did, talk about how that's what they do. They're family and they're there for each other. But you could tell everybody there was so moved by him. He even started crying. And you have heard actors talk about how characters sometimes you can get so involved in a character that it's hard for you to pull yourself out of it. You start to feel as if that character is indeed yourself, and you begin to think that way, or so whatever the character that you have fully engrossed yourself into is kind of how you experience life at that time. And I believe that he's had many characters that have taken them to that place. But those two in particular, Omar and Montrose, I believe, were the ones that definitely took him there. So, oh, I was heartbroken, you guys. I just was heartbroken. And then to find out that they believe that it could have been an overdose from this street fentanyl that is all on the streets. We also had a comedian who was also died a few days before they reported Michael K. Williams' death. His name is Fu Quan. Okay, I'm not familiar with that comedian, but he, along with 3 other people, had overdosed on street fentanyl at a party in Venice. In Venice, like Venice Beach, California. There was also another girl there who she did overdose, but she did not die. But you're starting to hear more and more about people, and I even know some people personally whose children have overdosed on street fentanyl. So it is a real thing, and more and more you are starting to hear about people taking chances. It's not even just heroin anymore. It's now these created drugs, these, if it's not synthetic, then it's just some extremely potent drug that nobody really knows exactly what's in it and how it will affect you. You hear more and more about fentanyl. Now the police are treating this as a possible homicide. They are on the lookout for the person that sold him or gave him that fentanyl, because it is illegal. So hopefully they will catch that person, because that person is not only, killing our favorite entertainers, but they are killing our kids, our cousins, our uncles, aunts, mothers, fathers, children. Okay, it's a real thing, and it's serious out there. So, oh, it was just so sad to hear, you guys. I don't know what else to say, you guys. I was so sad, you guys. Learned all these things about him after his death. I mean, even though we knew a lot about his life, I didn't know that he had been a dancer. I'm sure you guys have seen many of the videos that are circulating of him when he was a backup dancer for Madonna, and he danced for a lot of big names, back in the day, before he became an actor. But he still had the moves. We saw a video of him. He was in a park. It looked like, now I don't know what happened beforehand, but it looked like just the feeling of the drums and the music that was playing, that he was like overcome and felt like he needed to dance. Okay, it was him and another woman. Some of the videos I've seen, they've cropped the girl out so you could just see him, but just to see him and the way that he can move to the beat, it was so natural. Some people are practice dancers and some people have it naturally. He was definitely a natural. And when I saw that video, it lifted my heart, it lifted my spirits, but it also made me sad, because he's just gone. And all of that light that was in him has been dimmed, shut off. Okay, so of course we'll remember him, because like I said, he was a legend in his own time. His characters will live on forever, and we'll be able to experience him over and over again. But yeah, prayers up for his family, his close friends, and many of us fans around the world, we did lose somebody important, you guys. So he was 54 years old. Rest in peace to Michael K. Williams. Also, you guys, I wasn't going to talk about this, and I'm going to keep it real brief. I know that there were people who had things to say about his death, some that weren't being malicious, others that might have been. I think it's definitely in poor taste to play on something so serious as a person's death as promotion for a show like 50 Cent did. You guys would know how I would feel about that. I think it's extremely disrespectful. I think that it is in poor taste. I think that it doesn't take into consideration the family and friends that would be hurt by seeing something like that. All of that. So the same way that you would feel about something like that, I would feel the same way. There are people who did have comments, about it as well, who wasn't being malicious. Like I said, Lunel, for example, who did put up a post that said, that people just, possibly could you just not do drugs? Maybe did not need to be put out right now, because like I said, some people are sensitive. But if that's how she was feeling, and she did it out of love, then she put the post up. Some people felt she shouldn't have done it. Other people could see what she was saying. Then we had Jocelyn, who reacted to Lunel. I'm not even sure if Jocelyn knew at the moment that Lunel was talking about Michael K. Williams overdosing. I think she may have been led to to post that post is because of what happened with Fuquan, who was the comedian who had died some days before. So we had Fuquan, now we have Michael, and she was led to post that, make that post. So Jocelyn reading that and being in her feelings from, I'm assuming, the disastrous reality reunion, the reunion for Jocelyn's Cabaret that Lunel and Tamar Braxton, I'm sorry you guys, I'm so distracted. Tamar Braxton, they hosted. It went bad. There were some confrontations between Lunel and Jocelyn, and I guess Jocelyn was feeling some kind of way when she read that. Thought that Lunel maybe might have been talking about her. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if Jocelyn knew what was what, but she decided to go off and had a lot to say about Lunel, called her a fat pig. Just, I tell you, sometimes social media can get you just in a whole bunch of shit, okay? Especially if you act first before you really know what's going on. She may have very well known and just still used that opportunity to say something about Lunel. Of course, her family didn't like that, so they came to Lunel's defense, had a lot to say to Jocelyn, and it just takes away from the attention away from what we really talking about here. Is there's two young black men, not young, well, Fuquan was younger than Michael, but still, young really, because 54 years old in the grand scheme of things is young. He could have still lived 30 more years. He was just a little bit over half his life. Okay, could even gone longer than that. And then I believe Fuquan was younger, but these are black men who have lost their lives to street drugs. All right, and you just would hope that there's something out there to help. We don't need all the extra everything else that goes on. I'm only talking about it because you guys asked me to, because really I was just going to leave it out, because I just feel like it's even disrespectful to the memory of these two men that I'm talking about. So, but I wanted to make sure that I hit up you guys' requests. So that's what that is there. But we're not worried about Jocelyn, Lunel, 50, anybody else. It's just, we must remember that these people meant something to somebody. I'm just praying that the families can get through this and get on with their lives. It's difficult, we've all been there, but we're praying that they can do that. So I thought I would share with you guys the news that we got on your boy Diddy, Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Puffy, Puff, Brother Love, whatever you guys decide to call him. He seems to be living his life exactly the way that he wants to these days, right? He's become an eligible bachelor, many would say, after he and Cassie broke up some years ago. He hasn't been pinned down to any one woman. We've seen him, every now and then we'll see him in a picture with a woman, and people will say that that's his new girlfriend. Many of these women that we've seen him in pictures with have been very, very young, okay? The one that gave us the most creeps was when he was with Lori Harvey, which was strange enough. We knew that Lori Harvey had dated his son at one time. And at first it just looked like it might have just been, publicity and just taking pictures or whatever. But then it kind of got to the point where it was looking like maybe these two were trying to give it a go, and I was just like, ugh, because she's very young and Puffy's my age, and it just seemed creepy. The most creepiest was when they were all out with Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey, Lori Harvey, and Puffy. They were at like some, was it the Kentucky Derby, or they were somewhere, and it just looked weird because, you know, he's Steve Harvey and Marjorie's age, and then here you guys, he's up here dating your daughter. And it's like, you know that this old man is jumping on top of your daughter, and you know, even though she may not have been, but I'm just me imagining something like that would just be like. But again, we can't forget also that Puffy is close to being a billionaire and has a lot of money. And I mean, I guess if you was gonna have to have your child be with somebody, you know, older, at least let them be rich. And he's extremely rich. Okay, so rich worms, you know, work a little differently than just broke worms. You know, when the nigga broke and old, it's a little different. So we can deal with the rich worm. That didn't last long. Then, you know, he was pretty quiet for a while. Most recently, we've said that he was possibly dating Young Miami from the City Girls. They would every now and then do some little posts where it seemed like maybe they were talking to each other. If you follow him or follow her, you would kind of see things where it seemed like they were like kind of subbing each other. We saw them in a couple of pictures together, holding hands at Pee-wee's birthday party. And you know, so that was the rumor, was that he was seeing what's her name, Carisha. I didn't know if I believed it, because I don't think I saw any pictures of them kissing or anything like that. So I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but you know, it was cute enough story. I was just like, oh, he's giving this special brand of dancing senior citizen worms to Carisha, considering they both in the entertainment industry. Maybe he can give her some dance tips. Anyway, now word comes that okay, so Puffy is on vacation. He is in Capri. He has a huge yacht, as he should, and he had been posting on his yacht. I saw a picture of him where he's sitting on the back of the yacht. What they call that? The stern, the hull, the whatever it is, the back of the boat, you know, for niggas that don't be on boats and shit. But it looked like he was on the back of the boat, and he was kind of holding his hands up as there was a rainbow that was shining across the water. And he had mentioned that, you know, it was Kim Porter that was looking over him. I saw that. Then a couple of days later, it seems that Puffy has allowed the Paps to catch him, you know, I'm sure from a very long distance lens. But it turns out that he is not only on that boat by himself, or, you know, maybe just with his family. It also seems that Joy, or is it Joie or is it Joy? Joie Chavez, okay, you guys know her as the baby mama to Bow Wow, okay, upgraded that baby mama status to baby mama number 2 for Future. Well, she's not his second baby mama, she's being a baby mama secondly for Future. And then, honey, she did the ultimate upgrade and moved it on to Puffy. Okay, now it still is creepy. I know she might be a little bit older, or is she? But still, it's just weird. I mean, it's not. People do it all the time. But you know, it's because Puffy is starting to look old, so he don't even really look like somebody that can just be passing off. Like, you guys know how Solange's husband, he looked young to me, but Puffy is starting to look old, like gray, full gray, you know, bags, wrinkles and shit. So it's just sort of like, oh, but you know, it's like this playboy. I don't know what to call it, y'all. I just keep on being like, oh, okay. But you guys know that just me in general, I'm not a, like, I believe that people probably usually are, I just don't get the full, like, 30-year difference when you want to be dating somebody. You know, nobody is saying that it's real serious. I mean, it was serious enough for him to fly her out there, but of course, I mean, it was serious, and I don't even know if he flew her out there. Let me not assume. But but it was serious enough for them to be together and allow themselves to be taken, you know, pictures of and all of that. It could just be for fun. It might nothing serious come out of this and all, but I'm just like, oh, I mean, I guess. I mean, who trying to pass up on them rich worms, though? Do you guys believe that Joy and Puffy are seeing each other? Or do you just think that this is a little summer, well, now fall fling? Let me know. All right, you guys, in white folks news, because you know it's always one. It seems that Marina Verbitsky, I guess she had a weekend or whatever, a fun and sun in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it came time to go back home to Chicago. All right, I'm just guessing, you guys, but it makes the story sound better. So, maybe had tied one on too much the day before. Maybe it made her oversleep, you know. And then she became one of those ones that we see in the airport that's running through the damn hallway. He's like high speed. Okay, motherfucker trying to hold on to their bag, their kid, you know, running through the airport. Okay, that was Marina Verbitsky as she approached the gate agents and tried to get onto the plane back to Chicago, and they told her that it was too late. Okay, I don't know if you guys know it, but once they closed that door on the plane, at least when I worked for the airlines back in the day, they told us that, first of all, they're not going to reopen that door, okay? Because once the door is closed, that now says that that plane has taken off, okay? The planes get charged for every late time that they leave. That's why they be on such a hurry to the airline gets charged. That's why they be such a hurry and be in such a hurry to get the fuck out of there, because we got to make sure that we keep our on-time status. Okay, so that door closed, that shit is it. I don't give a damn if the damn walkway to get down there is still up or anything. No, we not opening it back up. It's just too late. Well, Marina Verbitsky got upset about that, and she was just like, well, you know what? It's a bomb on the plane. They said, what? She said, it's a bomb in my luggage on the plane. Now, if Marina would have thought about this, that don't make no damn sense. Marina, if you was going to be on the plane with the bomb, I mean, I guess potentially you would be wanting to kill yourself too, right? Okay? So I guess she was trying to make them say, like, okay, stop the plane so she can get on this plane so that she can blow up with everybody else. Like, it didn't make no sense. But you guys know that these airlines, since 9/11, which is actually tomorrow, is the anniversary of 9/11. But anyway, you guys know that these airlines are not fucking around with you, and don't get to talking about no planes blowing up. You know, you got a bomb. Don't say that. You cannot play around and say that on the in the airport, because you gonna get fucking arrested. Okay, because now they have to take every possible threat seriously, you know. So the plane had been taxiing. It was about to take off on the runway. Of course, they let the people know that this woman said that she has a bomb in her luggage, so they had to bring the plane back. Okay, so you costing the airline money now. You got to take everybody off that plane. That's more money, because now you got to be trying to reroute and putting people on other flights, and, you know, possibly having to put them up, even though these airlines are so broke and messed up right now. I don't even know if they doing that anymore. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you have completely messed up this whole takeoff just because you couldn't get on the plane. Now you done ruined it for everybody. So yeah, you going to jail. Okay, and that's exactly what they did to Miss Marina. So not only was she late to getting back to Chicago, baby, she was just in jail. I was like, I bet you she was sitting up in that damn jail cell like, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Yeah, maybe not, Marina. Okay, because now not only is she not getting back to Chicago when she needed to, but she also got a whole lot of legal problems that she's gonna have to deal with now. Yeah, that's federal. Don't fuck around with these airlines, y'all. Don't get to being up in there saying you got bombs. You better come up with something better. Okay, you guys, I know everybody saw the video that Steve from Blues Clues made for Nick Jr., their Instagram. He actually did a very long conversation. Well, not very long, but he was just up there to explain why he left Blues Clues so abruptly. I kind of remember the hullabaloo that it made back in the day when he left. I can tell you guys, Joe loved Blue's Clues. As a matter of fact, his first pictures that we took at Sears, okay, I had Blue's Clues as the background. I still have Blue's Clues sheets, twin sheets. Ain't a twin sheet in this, I mean twin bed in this damn house, but I still have Blue's Clues sheets, twin sheets. The pillowcases, I still have Blue's Clues bowls and plates that I used to use for Joe when he was a baby. He loved Blue's Clues, you guys. He would run when they would go get the mail. He would run also. He was only a year, maybe a year and a half, 2 at the most. He would run and go get his chair and sit it right in front of the thing, and he would open the mail along with Steve. I mean, yeah. So I was filled with nostalgia when I did see Steve. I remember back then that he did say he was leaving. It was the general assumption that he was going to college, but they didn't really make much of it. I think they just wanted it to be a smooth transition, and they thought maybe the lesser information they gave us, the better. So he just moved it on, passed it on to Joe. Ironically, Joe from Blue's Clues and my Joe. Okay. And, once the new Joe came, the new person came as Joe. I don't know if it was because Joe just wasn't interested in Joe, or if it's Joe was getting older and, you know, just outgrew the whole Blue's Clues thing. I fell out of touch with Blue's Clues. I don't know what happened after that, but I do know that after Joe left, he moved it on to Josh, which is ironic because Josh is my nephew's name, which is the same age as Joe. They're just like 30 days apart, a month apart. But anyway, y'all don't care about all of that. So now we have this video of Steve who is explaining exactly what happened when he left Blue's Clues. He went on to college, and he went on to say, quote, "I wanted to tell you that I really couldn't have done all that without your help, and in fact, all the help that you helped me with when we were younger is still helping me today, right now. And that's super cool. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you, ever. And I'm super glad we're still friends." And you guys, I don't know what it was about that conversation that he had with us, but I was so touched. And I sent it to Joe, and Joe was just like, "You already know, I done got this message a few times." It's just like, you know, they had magic when they had Blue's Clues and Steve. Like I said, I don't know what happened with the other guys. The show did go on for some more years after that. I believe it ended. Now they're celebrating the 25th anniversary of Blue's Clues. Now they're bringing back all 3 of the hosts, you know, 3 of the guys, and we see them in promo pictures and everything. I don't know if they're bringing the show back or what, but, or if the show is even off. I'm not sure of any of that, but yeah, you guys, that's what, did you guys see the video and all of the memes that went along with it? You know, people were like, when Steve said he's proud of me, you know, they're all just like, I was like, why did we feel so special when he did that? You know, it was genius. Whoever came up with that at Nickelodeon, it was genius because it got the reaction I think that they all was going for. So just wanted to throw that little piece in there, you guys. We love old Steve. I'm sure the other guys were good as well, but yeah, Steve has a special place in our heart.